Now that I've rebuilt my great Stonehenge, I want you to look through it not through human eyes, but through the eyes of the creators, whoever made this. We don't want to look at it as what it is on the ground, but what shadows it casts from above. You can see all these shadows. All right? And you can see the shadows that the spire created. Now I put it between these two bolts to show you how they use it. Now, like I said before, if we look at this stargazer right here, we have the northern horizon, the eastern horizon, western horizon, southern horizon. That's great. And if you look up in the sky at night, due to the fact, and you can see all the months all around here. But if you did not know north, south, east, or west, or what month it was, because you weren't from here, then you really couldn't tell anything. Because the Earth has a north pole, a magnetic pole, and we can tell directions for that. But what if I had to get from right here in my home to, say, the moon that was right here? And not only the moon, let's just say this is the moon, but I had to get right where it says Andromeda, and I had to get right at that very spot, right in the center of the Andromeda, okay? Now the universe is always moving. The Earth has an orbit, an axis around itself. The moon has an axis, or an orbit around the Earth. The solar system, the same thing. It's all moving. Therefore, how would you plot a course? Say if you were from NASA, how would you plot a course from, say, NASA in Florida to the moon and back when it's all moving? Now, I'll tell you how that's done. The way it's done is through calculation. Is the space shuttle will take off at a certain time, or it has a certain window. They know the velocity of the space shuttle. They also know the pattern of the moon, or the speed of the moon, and the direction of the moon. Also the rotation of the moon, because they want to land on a certain spot. Okay? Let's just say they do. Well, let's just say they have a moon base, okay? So we launch a space shuttle from here, and it has to go at a certain speed, everything else, and it has to catch the moon at a certain rotation, at a certain time, or a certain window to land right there at Andromeda. Okay? We do that by calculations. But how would we do it if we had to go from Earth, which is right here, to someplace 100,000 light years away? How would you do it? You'd have to have directions from point A to point B. That is how these visitors, or aliens as you might call them, they have to have directions, right? They see in contrast, light and dark. Have you ever seen an alien with a Hawaiian shirt? Have you ever seen a colored spacecraft that isn't dull silver? Or anything on them that's not dull silver, or anything in them that's not dull silver, or black or white, always in contrast. So what they do is they wait on their home planet, not Earth, but their home planet, for Earth to come into alignment with what they know is the exact jump place. And when I'm saying jump, we go through space-time, they go through space. just like a beam here from this remote control. You push a button, they go from point A to point B. All right? Or if you're right here, you push a button, they go from point A to point B. Now this is only when they're jumping between planets. Okay, and it's instantaneous. There's no time in the field, the aether field, according to Tesla. Right here. But they have to know when that planet aligns to their starting destination. Otherwise, they're going to end up in dead space, or worse yet, the one thing that stops this type of transmission or transportation is an obstacle in between. Now we know, say if we take this DVD player and we want to use it to get to that TV right there, which is not TV, but if there's something in the way, it doesn't work. It's the same concept. The problem is that when they jump between point A to point B, if there is anything in the way, well, they get a real bad case of planet poisoning. And they don't want that. That is why Earth is a hub. They jump here between, I believe it's May and September. That's the only time the conduit or electrical pathway is open. Just like this. Okay? Now, it may sound fantastic, all right? I know it sounds fantastic. But let's take a look at the facts. Stonehenge is there. All the crop circles are there. They're nowhere else in the world, the big ones. They're there every year. Everyone tries to say, well, they're created by a bunch of college students overnight, and that's the way it is. The Chilliboton Observatory glyphs of 2001, well, it was just some college students did it. The other alien glyphs, well, college students didn't. No, they didn't. They didn't do it in the middle of the night. We have, and I can cite for proof, we have YouTube videos of crop circles being made at dusk in England. And you can see where the crop circle, the big interplanetary ship, is coming down on top of the field. You can't see it because it's in the field. But it creates the crop circle, whatever it is. And 3 small scout ships come out from underneath it. You can see they're flashing white and dark lights. This is a fact. Also, what I want to say is that one gentleman, smart kid, in England decided that he saw a crop circle on the ground in England a few years ago, and what he did was he decided to stay all night in that crop circle and play his electric guitar. Okay? Now, in the morning, that crop circle was enlarged. So whatever made the crop circle in the first place was above him, and when he was playing his guitar, it expanded in the night. The reason they do the night is because they come from a low light area. They have large black eyes. The light is as blinding to them as it would be for not Val Kilmer, the gentleman, Vin Diesel in Pitch Black. They do everything at night, mainly because space is dark at night. Now I know that all this sounds fantastic, but one day it will all be proven true, long after I'm gone.